welcome everyone to the show. Today we are talking to Rusty.
Hey guys.
Hi, Rusty. And Peter.
3 stars for the good guys.
We're going to just do a little bit more about a potluck kind of a show today, talking about a bunch of different things. Peter, do you want to give us some updates on CFF news?
Sure, I would like to start with the results of the 3rd annual draft war. It was a lot of fun. It was very time consuming. I know that the captains put a lot of hard work into picking these teams, and the results show it. So in 4th place was Cheese for Life, with 130 stars. 3rd place was Espresso Patronum with 137 stars. 2nd place was Ink Made Cat Do It with 144 stars. And our winner was Shirts and Giggles and Shenanigans with 145 stars. So that's a 15-star spread, not even 10%. So really well done to the captains. It was a lot of fun. A lot of people say this is their favorite thing. What was yours? What was your experience like there, Rusty?
This was my first time not being on the winning team, so there's that. And I happened to be on the team that you listed first, so we didn't have the best week. Just things, one attack here and there, it all just adds up, and then next thing you know, you're in last place. Yeah, it was it was good. I mean, it's good times. It's fun. It's good to be with a lot of people that you don't necessarily war with and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. A shout out to MB, I guess, for picking me. I don't know what was going through her head at that time when she picked me, but she did, so she got stuck with me. It was I mean it's such a fun event. It's pretty hard to have any complaints about anything. Everyone puts in so much time, and it's a lot of fun to do it. I think once a year. It sounds like it's not that frequent, but it is so much work. I don't think we could do it much more than that.
It would lose its specialness if we did it more often.
Yeah.
Have you ever been a captain?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't even remember, to be honest with you. I think I was a captain for the first one or second one. But I don't remember if it was the draft war. Or I've been a captain for wars that were drafts, but I think I was a captain for boys versus girls war as opposed to the draft war. I don't know. I've lost a lot of brain cells since then.
Always good stuff going on in the CFF.
Yeah, exactly. I now that I think about it, I think it wasn't for the draft wars. I think it was for other wars that were just drafts. I know I've been the captain of stuff, but I can't keep track of things these days. Getting too old.
Well then, the next thing coming up in the CFF is the Halloween War. This is brought to you by Miss P and Crossfade. They're hoping to spin on October 29th. And of course, keeping with the Halloween theme, they're going to insist you have one Skelly spell, as many or as few as 5 goblins. They're going to put a cap on witches, only 6 witches.
Ooh.
And they're saying right now, Royal Ghost will be allowed.
Woohoo.
So sign up for the Halloween War. They're going to run as many as they can, so sign up.
Yeah, I think it's looking like that one's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I like event wars, especially ones like this where we can actually incorporate the Royal Ghost can be a part of it, because it's like a special troop, and then we just happen to be having an event war for the special troop. The reason that the special troop is out, which is Halloween, which is nice. So it'll be fun.
For sure. So speaking of Halloween, let's talk about the Royal Ghost. I know a lot of people have been playing with that one since it came out for that little special Halloween update. I've seen a lot of mass Royal Ghost armies happening. Do you guys think he's a little bit too OP?
Well, considering I 1-star with it occasionally, I'm going to say no.
I actually I haven't ventured into the Royal Ghost usage as of yet, so I don't have too much of an opinion. I got a hard enough time using troops. I know what they do, so I haven't actually used it yet. So
he's floating around.
But I will be. I'm gonna have to practice for sure for the Halloween war, because I'm gonna have to get some good OP strategies, kick some butt.
Well, the nice thing is he floats, so walls don't stand in his way. And if you look closely, I believe he's wearing Crocs. So there's nothing more OP than that.
Yeah.
He is like a super goblin, Rusty. He's invisible for 12 seconds, but attacks everything. So a little unlike super goblin, but very, very, very strong attack. Someone has compared it to a P.E.K.K.A, but only with the hit points of a wizard. So once they become visible, they don't last too long. And of course, they stop being able to go through walls once they're in what would you call it? Corporeal form.
Once they're visible.
Yes, right. And then
kind of like a ghost, like in Super Mario, like the ones that they chase you and then you look at them and they turn real and they stop.
Exactly. Yes. I've been having a lot of fun with them. I'm using them in conjunction with the bat spells. I can't remember the YouTuber that posted it first, but I watched Sir Agnock and he showed the easiest way. So I've been having fun with it. Some triples, some singles. The center town halls are tough. So
yeah. I was using the Mass Royal Ghost one, and then for some bizarre reason, all I was getting was ring bases, and I was getting frustrated because the attack I had watched was, a completely different strategy. So then I've had to adjust a little bit using a blimp on that. And
are you using this in Legends for your daily attacks?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's definitely not tripling all the time, but you're getting really high percentage 2-stars, and it's a fun thing something different to play with. I was talking to somebody, and they were saying that the Royal Ghost is not going to be allowed in the monthly qualifiers.
And so that, I think, is as much reason why it's OP, right? That's why we're saying it's too strong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Supercell kind of does that with any special troop. Makes them that they know isn't going to be sticking around. You want to make if they're not strong enough, no one's going to use them, and it's just a waste of their time.
Do you guys? Do you guys remember some of the other seasonal troops that have come out? So there's the Royal Ghost. Do you remember El Primo?
Oh yeah, the
Absolutely.
dude from that other game that they brought
Brawl
over.
Stars? Yeah.
From Brawl Stars, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's someone's all-time favorite from people that I've spoken to. And then there's the Party Wizard and the Ice Wizard, and I don't know if there's any other ones that I can't really recall.
Isn't the Ice Wizard the all-time favorite of the ladies?
Why? Because he has blue hair?
Yeah, I thought he was just the handsome Ice Wizard that everyone loved.
I don't know. El Primo's pretty cool because he just beat down walls.
Yeah, I like the giant Skelly that they brought in a couple years back. It was
that's right. I forgot about him.
Wreck Chop. And then there was that other. Oh no, I'm thinking of El Primo. El Primo was like you could just basically just drop like 100 of them or however many you could fit in your troops in like one spot, and they would just destroy the entire base.
That's right.
I
forgot about that giant skeleton.
Yeah, the giant skeleton was cool, but you could only bring like one because like it was something like 50 troop space or something like that.
Yeah, but he was so strong.
I remember it was absurd, but yeah, it was so strong.
Peter, how about you? Do you have a favorite?
I like the Royal Ghost both times through. I've likened him this time. I recall way back in the day. I can't remember where I was playing, but yeah, they was powerful then too, and enjoyed using them.
So what about the Halloween event? Let's talk about that. The Pumpkin Graveyard Challenge. Now, I have not yet defeated it. I've tried it once or twice, but I haven't really sat down and watched any of the how-to videos on how to do it. So I'm going to do that this afternoon. But have either of you defeated it yet?
I have. I did it today because I saw this that we were going to talk about it. So I was like, oh, I should probably do that. I wasn't going to do it because I just don't need the book of obstacles. But I did it anyways because whatever, 50 gems is 50 gems. So yeah, so I did it anyways. I didn't even open up the challenge before I watched a video. I had no idea what the base looked like when I started watching a video, and I watched the video one time. It was the Kenny Joe video I watched, and he broke it down pretty straightforward. I watched it one time, and then I did the attack. I butchered it, and I went and watched back like another 5-second part where I got confused, and then I went back and I did it. I got it on my third attempt.
Wow,
very good.
Yeah, so it was pretty good. Yeah, it seems like the trick is to sort of. So I guess if for people that aren't familiar with it, is like there's a lot of like hit points and whatnot, and all like the defenses are all sort of on the left hand side by like a town hall, and then there's just a huge open space with lots of like channels and stuff over on the right. Kind of looks like a graveyard. Go figure, right? But there's like a bajillion skellies that come popping out like a graveyard, and so they're super distracting. So the initial thought you think is, oh yeah, I'm gonna just like go heavy with like a kill squad and get rid of all these defenses and everything, and then you can just take out the trash buildings at the end. But if you do that, then all these skellies just pop up and just destroy everything. But you can basically use a couple of the Velks to get through the walls over by, there's an elixir storage, and you just sort of head up over there, and you put them on, and then these skellies, like the Velks don't even know that the skellies are there, and they're killing them because they're either breaking a wall or breaking through the elixir storage, right? So it kills off almost all of them that way. It's super, super convenient. And then you can just basically spam in everything else over like you would initially think.
Cool.
It's pretty good.
I'll have to watch that video.
It wasn't overly hard. Yeah.
Peter, have you tried it?
I have to give that a try because I saw somebody's thumbnail, didn't watch the video, said, oh, I defeated this with just the heroes and my spells. And I thought, oh, okay. So I'll start with the queen and the warden down at the bottom of the graveyard. Yeah, that was a disaster. So I'll have to give it another try. I have not beat it yet.
Yeah, those super witches coming out with the giant skellies with the defensive CC are pain.
Yeah, that is a wicked defensive CC. It's almost as good as that golden dragon. So we'll hope Supercell doesn't put that in for Town Hall 15 because that'll be tough to beat.
Yeah, I mean, let's also hope that they don't allow you to build 20 hidden Teslas like you can on this base too. So it makes it a little bit harder when all these hidden Teslas pop off, and you're like, okay, like I thought, what happened to 5 here?
Yeah, there are no rules.
Like it's like no, there's like at least 20. I don't know, man. They just keep coming up and keep coming up and keep coming up, and you're like, okay, like I've got these monster witches to deal with here. Stop popping up.
This must be Supercell's answer to the super base that everyone's clamoring for to pull from Boom Beach. I mean, these challenges are really kind of like that, right? How many Teslas? There must have been 20, right? By the time you got around that ring?
Oh, for sure.
Close,
so.
Right?
Yeah. Because then there's some up at the top by that last by the Inferno there too. So,
boy.
And then there's the whole left hand side is just like lined with the entire thing. So yeah, there's a bunch.
Now I'm determined to try and beat this thing today.
I hope Supercell keeps going with these. I'm sure it takes some of their development time to put these together, but I think they're well received generally.
They seem pretty popular. I've struggled with a few of those ones where, and to be honest, I haven't put a huge amount of effort into defeating them, just because life has been so busy and busy with other things in Clash. But some of those other bases that they've had in previous events, they've just been a little bit more complex, and I haven't been able to sit down and put that time to watch the how-to videos on how to defeat them and make the attempt. So I'm a little bit guilty of ignoring some of those challenges, but they do look like fun.
Yeah, I like them. I don't have the ability in my brain with brain capacity or just skills on Clash to ever be able to beat them without watching the videos, but I like them. I like the resources and whatnot. They're fun. They're kind of like a super souped up version of the Goblin map, right? So,
yeah.
Yes, exactly.
For sure.
Yeah, I like the Goblin map. The Goblin map was fun. I actually didn't cheat, I don't know if you want to call it cheating, but I didn't actually ever watch any videos for the Goblin map, so I enjoyed them, and it's the same concept.
Well, and then they have those other levels now that you can practice on too, right? Those practice things.
Yeah.
So those are kind of fun.
Yeah, those ones are good just for the resources.
Yeah, if you're upgrading, those are great ones to do.
And I find them handy to just come up with an army comp, right? Because they did the hybrid, and then they did a Lalo. You know, when I don't know where I'm starting from, those are the first places I go to kind of see what Supercell suggests. Yeah.
Now let's talk about this crazy Halloween scenery. Thoughts on it?
Pat,
did you buy it?
Did you buy it?
I did, but
Hey.
I knew
I
that was
don't
going to
really
be the
like it
answer.
that much. Like I like the Halloween theme, but I found it like it's too dark. And when
Oh, like visually, just like when
yeah,
you're
and when
looking
I
at it.
open it up, I always think I'm on Builder Base because it's dark green like the
Oh,
Builder Base, right?
Oh, that sounds
So
terrible. That's what. Well, they probably
yeah,
did that on purpose. It's supposed
yeah,
to scare you, isn't
I think so. Yeah.
it? Makes you think you're in a nightmare. Oh my god, I'm trapped in builder
But
base
it is
forever.
pretty cool. But I've switched over to the winter scenery because I just am looking forward to snow. But I do have it and I do like it. But yeah, I was just finding it a little bit too dark overall. Like I think if they would have made the center of the base just a little bit brighter, it would have been a bit better.
Well, we'll let Darian know that when there's space for you on the dev team,
Yes,
you
please
can be
do.
there and make these
Yes,
perfect
I'll
bases.
buy my plane ticket and head over there and help them out.
Well, you don't need to buy your plane ticket. It's companies. Company's gonna buy it for you.
Oh,
Remember, you're
that's
gonna be
right.
payroll.
Did either of you guys buy it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not me.
no.
I was looking at it. I'm contemplating it. I have contemplated it. I think I would have for sure bought it already if the resources right now that it comes with are sort of just like throwaway resources. But if it
Yeah.
came with more, I probably would have bought it already. Like if it came with a substantial amount that would be useful, like, but I mean, for a 14, it comes with like, what is it, 2.5 million of gold and two and a
Yeah.
half million elixir. Like that's like a quarter of one building at 14. Like if you're maxed on your gold pass, so it's really not that didn't sway me either way. And I was like, I don't
Hmm.
know.
Yeah, that
I
is not the
figured
reason to buy
No.
the scenery.
no, and I was looking at the scenery, and I was like, yeah, it's cool, but like it's super Halloween specific. So like I'm gonna use it for like a week, and then I won't. But it sounds like Kat used
Yeah.
it for less.
I will put it
So
back on for the Halloween week and for the Halloween war. Did you guys buy the party? The party scenery?
I did
I'm
not.
regretting not buying that.
no, I haven't
Hmm.
bought a couple of them. I I bought the first couple, and then I haven't bought them
Yeah.
since. Basically,
Yeah. I really like, the more I see people with the party scenery, the more I really like that one. And I wish I would have bought that one. Hopefully they'll bring some of those back and allow people to buy ones that they're missing.
Is that not an option?
I don't think so. No,
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 I
not.
don't think so. I know the Clockwork Queen shows up all the time on one of my accounts, like whichever one I didn't get
Yeah,
it
the
on.
regular skins I think show up, but not the special event sceneries type
Not the
thing. Because
specials. Okay.
the party scenery was part of their Clash anniversary.
Yeah, their
Yeah,
9th anniversary. Yeah.
so I'm out of luck on that one.
they might come up with like options to buy them. Come
Hmm.
back in the come back and pop up. You know, it probably cost you like they'll probably bring them back for like gems or something. I don't
Yeah,
know,
2,000 gems,
like 1,000 gems, yeah, or
something
whatever.
crazy. So okay, so people have been using various versions of Skybrid and dragons and Dragbat and everything air under the sun. And during the last update, they buffed ground slightly. Have you guys been switching back and forth ground and air? And do you find one better than the other, or is air still king?
I am not king at all. I'm struggling. I've switched back and forth. I don't know. Forko keeps telling me that these Yetis are good, but maybe he's doing something better with them than I am because I'm not succeeding.
Rusty, did you try the Super Bowler?
I haven't really used it. You know what I mean? Like I've toyed around with it and stuff, but I haven't found a strategy or anything necessarily that I've thought that has piqued my interest to stay focused on and give it a
Mhm.
go.
I
Um,
agree with you. I rented them, I think, 2 consecutive cycles just to try and get a feel for them, and I had some mixed success, but I found them really squishy. If they got into the center without any support, they were done. Right?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I have not tried Super Bowlers, so I really need to play around
yeah.
with
I
them
mean,
a bit.
I used them like one. I rented them once, and that was it. And that I haven't
Mhm.
done it again.
And I
Yeah,
was super excited about the opportunity for hybrid
Mhm.
to be back. And
mhm.
I use my books and things and hammers on miners and hogs to try and get
Me
those
too.
leveled up. And, you know, I feel like I had the same kind of mixed success that I was having even before the update
Hmm.
came. You know, if you get the right, and it's always base dependent, I realize, but if you get that right L-shaped, I could do just as well before as I was doing after. It wasn't an automatic. I do think it's viable. I think Michigan is still running it
Hmm.
in Redthorn and doing
Yep.
super duper with
Yeah.
it. But for me, I think air is actually, I hate to say it, even stronger because now there's the at least threat of ground, and builders are, you know, not every skeleton is set on air to distract my
Yeah,
dragons.
that's true.
Yeah, and that are being used are now not just set up to defend just air. So you can cherry pick bases on the war map too that you say, hey, this is a ground base, I'm going to use air, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
And
yeah, it's
maybe
pretty
that's
nice.
just the nice thing is that you have more of an option when you're looking at a war map to say, okay, yeah, I can use air on this base or I can use ground on this base. You're not like just forced, I have to do air on this because air is meta and that's it, or vice versa. So there's like that balance, right?
Hmm.
I'm going to agree there because, you know, it used to be, and this is before the air update or the air buff, you know, there was bases that were, someone would post, oh, these are only ground bows. And I would think, okay, there's only 2 or 3 guys that actually Lalo
Mm-hmm.
in Redthorn. I wonder who's going to take
Yeah.
those bases, right? Because I'm not going to with my hybrid. So I think it's opened up the game at the risk of getting more hate. I think it was good that air got some love. There's now more of a
I think,
mixture. I'm not going to say it's
yeah,
50-50,
I think
but
you're right. I mean, because before I was 100% ground attacker. And with the buff to air, it forced me out of my comfort zone to try some of these air attacks. And I ended up liking them and I'm doing pretty well with them when I'm not one starring. So so yeah, but I do like having the option of going back to ground if I see a base that calls for it.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. I was actually super excited, like Peter said, about like the option of hybrid, and I went and I got my miners done. I think like day
Hmm.
3 or something like that because I had a few books and hammers saved up. So I did my Yetis and whatnot first, and then I was like, oh, okay. So I got the miners, and I still don't even think I've cooked one. I've never actually gotten around to doing it. So I was like, because I haven't done my hogs. I did the miners like day 3, but then I think the hogs are the last thing I have left.
Yeah.
So and I'm out of books. They're in the lab, but I don't know what the upgrade time was, like 3 months or something like that. So
give or take a day.
yeah, so they'll be done for the Christmas update, and maybe I'll use them then. I don't know.
I actually really love the hogs. They're probably my favorite troop at Town Hall 14
Oh,
now
I
with
was
that green
yeah.
hammer. That really, they stand out for me.
Yeah.
I really like them.
Yeah, I really like the look with the green hammer, like you said. It definitely makes them look like a Town Hall 14 troop. But I'm struggling with hybrid a little bit because to get the timing down because having you know been doing air for such a length of time now, go back to ground and hybrid. I mean the timing and the spells and everything.
And the
Yeah.
number of troops, right? I mean, with the Skybrid dragon, whatever, it's, 5
Hmm.
dragons, 4 dragon riders. It's not a heck of a
Yeah.
lot of troops. Whereas with miners, it's, 13 or 14 plus hogs, plus whatever else you got. So it
Yeah,
does
you
change
can
it.
get used to looking for the miners again. Where'd they go now? It's like you forget how to watch for them.
Yeah, I think I gotta make a better focus to do the ground. I'm so sick of my
Hmm.
drag riders. Like I like them. I'm not sick of drag riders. I'm sick of them just sitting there getting just destroyed by like enemy heroes or CC troops, and it's like just freaking do something. Like, so frustrating that they just don't react.
So true.
Yeah, so I think I need an
Yeah,
air break.
yeah. But it's good to go back and try some of those different ground attacks. Whether it's a P.E.K.K.A. or a Yeti Smash or the hybrids. I don't know, some people have been playing around with the mass hog attacks again, so that's kind of cool to see. Not sure how viable mass hogs are at 14, but I think some people can make them work.
And again, right base.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that you need to be able to, if you want to succeed at 14 with mass hogs, you need to be able to get the town hall down without your hogs.
Yes. Yeah.
And kill the
So,
CC and
yeah.
maybe one scatter shot and the eagle. And then, yeah, I think it's good.
You're good to go.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the clan games because we're in the middle of that right now. Supercell did some changes to the clan games, and have you guys noticed any difference? They've changed the
I really have.
yeah.
I really have. I never really was a huge clan games fan. I would get my 4,000 points done usually by the end of the week. It was just, I don't know, it was just part of my normal attacking. Now it feels like such a, what's the right word? It's such a grind. I copied down some of the ones we had in clan. 150 points if you get a star using a heal spell. Yeah, it's easy to get those 150 points, but if you had to do only 150 point challenges, it's like 26 challenges. That's a heck of a lot of times to
Yes,
go
definitely.
and
I
pick that.
did see when I first opened up, there was a challenge for 1,500 points with
The Rage Barbarian.
there's different ones that I've seen in some of the different clans. I mean, there's one with the Ice Hound, and then there was one with a super giant. So there are these
super
there are
troops.
these mega challenges out there, but they're few and far between. And then if you've got two other super troops cooked and nobody else has, say for example, the Ice Hound, because let's be honest, who has that cooked usually?
Right.
Then you're stuck doing these 150 point challenges, and that's really tedious. And I did see Darian is on the Reddit forums asking for input on that, and that's when I went on there, and there was quite a few people saying the same thing, that they need to up the points slightly because it's just tedious.
And they can make the difficulty a little hard, right? We don't need to do it in one attack. Use one heal spell. Why not 3 heal spells, right? We can cope with that. Anyway, I'm sure they'll get a balance
they will,
back.
and it's nice that they're asking for input from the players.
Yeah, for sure. That's nice.
So it's nice to see that communication, that line of communication open. How about you, Rusty?
I haven't done much yet in the way of clan games. I'm still on moocher status. I'll get my 4,000 in, but I haven't really yet. So I usually kick the can down the road, and last day I'm sitting there at 11 p.m.
We'll be tagging you.
Okay, come on, I got to get another 1,000 done here.
I'll be tagging.
Yeah, but I get my full pull in. Just because, ever since that extra reward, it's nice. Sometimes there's not really an extra reward that's worth it, but I do it anyways.
How quickly does KGH get their clan games done?
Pretty quick. It was not ever usually much of an issue. Sometimes it's there's 2 days left and we're not done, and then panic sets in and it's done in an hour. But it's we don't really have to pay too much attention to KGH itself. Usually what ends up happening is we usually end up having to pay attention to Pineapple Hotel or KGHA if somebody starts it off there and it's oh crap, so now a bunch of people go and do it or whatever. But we've got a better handle on that in the past couple of months, I think, too. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure Redthorn had it done this morning before I got up. So
is it done already? That's terrible.
Yeah, I think we're at 58,000 this morning.
Yeah, I think I have not quite maxed out my main account yet, so to do that.
And I assume Noble Hero's the same thing, Rusty? Really quick off the mark?
Yeah, for sure. In KGH, we've just about unlocked that 4th tier, so we're we'll be done in, I don't know, probably tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Be my guess. Yeah. Noble's fast. Noble's hard to get those builder-based challenges. That's for sure. Everybody
those are the best
ones because they're the quick ones. Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to talk about today is, with so much going on with 14, do you guys think that, or have you noticed a trend on player burnout? There seems to be a general air of frustration from a lot of the Town Hall 14 players that I've interacted with lately. Do you think Town Hall 14 is broken? Have people just gotten used to being able to triple at every Town Hall level, and now they're frustrated that they can't because the defenses are higher, the troops are there's so many different troop comps. The bases are good. What do you guys think?
I'm not burnt out, but I'm frustrated as all heck. I'm in a hardcore rut. I'm just struggling with just not being good at attacking.
Well, yeah, I think that's valid. Like I can't seem to buy a triple in war lately. I mean, I've seen a lot of the other guys are smashing it with various attacks. Was it Magnus tripled in war with that Royal Ghost thing the other day? It's
Yeah.
like, okay, that's really cool. I wish I could do that. But there is a lot of frustration, it seems, with people just saying, I want to triple in war because it feels good to triple. And I was able to triple at Town Hall 13, and now I'm close to max 14. And why aren't we able to triple anymore? And I think people lose sight of the fact that everything has gotten to a point where the defenses are so much stronger. And even though they've buffed a lot of the offense, the bases are good. You're not running into a lot of rushed bases like maybe or a lot of the at 13 you'd see a lot of the 4 square bases. You don't see that
Yeah.
at 14.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point too, though. You touched on with people's defenses are done now, right? So, so now you're seeing max bases and on a regular basis, whereas before it was like what you weren't seeing nearly the quantity of max bases unless people were gemming hardcore. So, but now you can be done even if you weren't gemming. So it's definitely made a difference.
I think there's so many layers to what you're asking there too, Kat. I mean, if the upgrade times are extraordinarily long, right? Rusty made that joke about 3 months for the
Right.
hogs. It's not really that far off the
Yeah.
mark, really. Some of us are spending money on the game, and so we've upgraded very quickly. I'm including myself in that. I do buy gems. I save my medals so I can buy hammers, so I can be kind of on the meta. I think a lot of people have saved up, and they're done so quickly that why am I playing, right? They're farming for no reason, especially if they're not in
Yeah.
Legends. You were talking the other day about trying to drop out of Legends so you could FC more, right? Trying to improve, but under controlled
Right.
circumstances. Are you still feeling that way?
I feel like I do want to drop out of Legends, more for the fact that I'm just gonna put my storages on the outside so people can take some of my loot. So I can, because when I buy the gold pass,
Yeah.
I'm not filling up on the reward side for loot because my storages are all full. My base is fully maxed. And I was thinking, okay, well, what can I do? I can keep playing around in Legends, and yeah, I'm hitting good bases up there, but it gets a little tough to get those 8 attacks in a day at times, and maybe I want to just practice working on a queen charge or something. And I'm not really. My mentality in Legends is a little bit different. It's hard to get out of that. It's okay to 0 star, and I'm just going to practice doing a queen charge or something, and I don't care if I drop out of Legends. So maybe that's what I need to do is
Yeah.
go out of Legends. I know C Note is close to completing that defensive challenge. I think he's like 400.
The
He's
unbreakable,
400
yeah. Yeah.
defenses away from completing that, and he's down in bronze. So I think,
Yeah. Yeah, he's at a ridiculous 400 trophies or
yeah,
something silly. Yeah, he's way
yeah,
down there.
Yeah, that's the only way you can do it is just by people dumping on
yeah.
you,
So
right?
just for
So
fun, I might just try and drop down there and see if I can work towards that and practice some of the other stuff along the way. And I know I'll eventually be back up in Legends again, but yeah, just looking to keep the fun in the game. You gotta remember it's a game, and we have to find the fun in it. And if that means
yeah,
trying some wacky things and
actually, it's funny you say try some wacky things and stuff. As you were just saying that, I was just thinking, like, I wonder how high as like a max or near max 14, like if you just drop down absolutely like as low as you can, like 100,
Hmm.
200 trophies, I wonder how high if you just left your account and didn't do any tax, I wonder how high you could get back up in trophies just based on people dumping on you. Like,
Ah, I
because
see what you mean. Yeah, I see what
you
you mean.
would level off eventually, but you'd probably get up to uh, 1,000 or a couple thousand just because people are trying to
Yeah,
dump on you, right, repeatedly. But then you would eventually level out. I just don't know what that leveling off period or spot
that
would
is
be.
kind of interesting. Yeah, I wonder if you'd end up in champs or if we.
But I mean, then that would require just killing off a max 14 that and leaving it as a
Yeah,
dead account because you can't attack on it. So I don't think anyone's going to do that. But yeah,
yeah.
there's that.
Peter? What about you? Like, do you find like you're still enjoying being in Legends, or
I
yeah?
really do. But I didn't go through the frustration of the adopting to air. I just landed on an attack
Hmm.
that worked for me. Can I turn
Yeah,
that question around? What do you think is a reasonable hit rate at the max town hall level? Like what would you be comfortable with if you had a 3-star every other war? 25%? Does that seem reasonable or does that seem even high?
that's a good question.
My initial thought, as soon as you said that, was before you even said like your percentage, what like of 25%. My instant thought was 30, just like one out of
Yeah,
every three attacks. So like not every war, essentially. I wanted, I would want to be higher, like myself. I'd want to be like 40% maybe, but I think 30 is good. I think 50 is too high.
Without naming any names, is there anybody in, let's say, Noble Hero that just it seems like they triple all the time?
Yes. There's a couple, and then there's a couple guys that made me seem like they don't, which is myself. But yeah, it's so in NOLA we pass out like the Warhammer after every, if you had a good war, someone picks you, and then you pick the next, but
hmm,
you know, so on. And there's a there's a few guys that have, like you said, I won't necessarily name names, but there's a few guys that are racking up a lot more hammer wins than the rest of us. That's for sure. So
And then everyone else sees those people having success and says, "Why can't I
hmm,
do that?" Right? I think that leads to some of this discontent at Town Hall 14.
I mean, I know why I'm not getting the triples like they are. They put in the
yeah.
work. Like they're on all the time. They're FCing like nonstop, always there. Like maybe even if they're not talking, if you're like, oh hey, post to see FC something, all of a sudden it's the same guys always popping up. It's they work for it, and I know that that's why I'm not doing. I'm not putting in nearly the amount of work that they
Yeah,
are, and practice and repetitions.
that's a good point. I mean, obviously, if you have someone maybe even helping you plan and just looking at a base, helping you break it down, that probably goes a long way to helping you succeed. Sometimes you can look at a base and you just say, okay, I know that I can triple this by doing this, this, and this. But I think for the average player, you know, let's be honest, everybody's busy these days. It just seems their real lives are busier and busier as, everybody transitions from, say, perhaps working at home and transitioning back to interacting with people in the office, and kids are going back to school. All these different factors are contributing to a busier real life. And I think that's impacting people's
Yes.
ability to spend time in game and perhaps doing the FCs and that sort of thing. So I think it's important for everybody, take a breath and remember it's a game, and ultimately we play to have fun. We're not, I mean, we're competitive at heart. That's the kind of people most of us are. We like to win, but
Right.
it's a game, and ultimately play to have fun. I think everybody should just remember that when they're feeling frustrated, and reach out and talk to a friend about it, and get talked off the ledge, as Peter and Stormy so often talk me off the ledge.
Hmm.
That's my thoughts on that.
you guys watch the World Championships,
Mhm.
those kind of things. So I used to watch them religiously. Like I would sit down and watch the stream, and some of that contributed. This was back at Town Hall 13 because I've stopped because why can those guys do that with their queen? My queen won't do that, right? I put a wall breaker, and the queen says, "Oh, I don't want to step in that rubble. I'm going this way." And so you just it frustrated me to watch those
Mhm.
guys and not be able to duplicate what they were doing. I stopped watching the World Championships. I watch the highlights, of course, because someone will come up with some crazy attack that's just fun to watch. But I don't, in my mind, think I need to be able to
Mhm.
do this anymore.
Well, and I think watching the Worlds, people perhaps don't realize how much work these guys put in. You see them for that hour and a bit in that active war on the stream and not realizing that they have been doing FCs and short format wars for like weeks and weeks and weeks leading up to that. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
they sort of live and breathe that kind of environment where
Yeah,
they're hitting bases at that level, top level bases nonstop, and working with spotters and that sort of thing. So there's like all these different factors that contribute to them being able to do these amazing attacks.
yeah, for sure. My lifestyle certainly just doesn't allow for that to even be a
Hmm.
possibility, right? So,
right. The Tarilla Tatavan guy said he walks in the door. He says to his wife, "Good evening. I'm going to be on. I'm going to be on the computer." He goes and puts his
Yeah,
headphones on, and he doesn't.
yep.
He's sacrificing that portion of
yeah.
his life. So yeah,
So yeah, so it's just a different type and way of doing things in terms of the game, and I think people just need to realize that you're not seeing the whole story when you watch these pro players like do their thing on the screen. There's like so much prep work that goes on behind the scenes, and most of us are unable to commit to that kind of workload in terms of prepping for
exactly.
play like that at that level. So I guess that brings us to the end of the show. It's time for final comments and shoutouts. Peter, do you have any comments and shoutouts?
I really do. We've had some good friends over in RT. I'd like to say shout out to C Note. Thanks for hanging with us for a little while. And Lolly. Oh, she's so
She
fun
is.
to have in chat. I think she's been struggling too. After she was on with us, she really did take that break. And then, true to her word, when they buffed ground, she was back. So she and I have been playing around, trading ghost comps and things. So and C Note, yeah, he's fun to watch him on the bottom of that map. I don't know how he keeps his account down that low. It's hilarious. And I have kind of a sad one. One of the guys I worked with since 2004 passed away suddenly last Thursday. He had a heart attack, and he was a Clash of Clans player. So I just wanted to say, uh, rest in peace, Ed. Thank you.
So sorry to hear that. Rusty, how about you?
Yeah, that's yeah, I'll give a good shout out to the fine folks over at Noble Hero. So last Supercell 7-day War League, as some previous guests like to call it. I had a bit of a rough week, and may or may not have had more than one star. So the way it goes over in Noble is if you are a willing participant and you finish with the lowest amount of stars, you get a name
Uh-oh.
change for the month until yeah. So not in game, although the first guy who lost, he went fully in and did an in-game name change even for months. So shout out to El Socio on that one. He's crazy. But I didn't do the inside in the game name change, but yeah, they've found out a name for me that I will not say on the podcast because it's a family friendly show, but it is a play on some of my in-game names combined together. So yeah. Anyways, shout out to them and good fun. Oh, well, I earned it. Let's put it that way. So yeah, shout out to those
Awesome.
guys.
I'm going to shout out our good friend Royd Rajan. He's a co-leader at Redthorn, and he's been with us since back in the Hall of Graves days. One of the best players I've ever seen, and he's a good friend. And he's also been feeling the frustrations with Town Hall 14 and is taking a short break, and hopefully we'll see him back playing with us soon. So shout out to Royd. So thank you everybody for listening. If you're looking for a great group of clans in either Clash of Clans or Clash Royale, visit the Clash Files Discord to apply. As always, please send us your comments, ideas, and questions to us at KGH Podcast on Twitter, or you can join the Clash Files Discord at discord.gg/clashfiles.